I welcome thee to thy abridged version of William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Peace, break thee off, look, where it comes again. In the same figure like the king that's dead. Thou art as scholars speak to it, Horatio. Look, it's not like the king, mark it, Horatio. Most like it harrows me with fear and wonder. It would be spoke to. Question it, Horatio. What art thou that usurpst this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of Burr Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak. It is offended. See, it stalks away. Stay, speak, speak. I charge thee, speak. 'Tis gone and will not answer. How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is this not something more than fantasy? What think you on it? Before my God, I might not this believe, without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes. Take thy fair hour, Lear's time be thine, and thy graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet, and my son, a little more than kin and less than kind, how is it that the clouds still hang on you? Not so, my lord, I am too much the sun. Good Hamlet, cast thy night its color off, and let thy night look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou now as 'tis common all that must die passing through nature to eternity. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew! Or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon 'gainst self-slaughter. O God, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it, ah fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed, things that rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not to so excellent a king, that was, to this Hyperion, to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not bade him the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on it, frailty, thy name is woman. A little month or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, even she, O God, a beast, that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her gallate eyes, she married. O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets! It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. Look, my lord, it comes. Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned, bring with the airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intensive wicked or charitable, thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak of thee. I'll catch the Hamlet. King, father, royal Dane, oh answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, pierced in death, have burst their cerements, why the sepulchre, wherein we saw thee quietly inurned, hath oped this ponderous and marble jaws, to cast thee up again. What may this mean, that thou, dead corse, again in complete stealer seest thus the glimpses of the moon, making night hideous, and we fools of nature so horridly to shake our disposition with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls? Say, why is this? Wherefore, what should we do? It becockens you to go away with it, as if it some impartment did desire to you alone. Look with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground, but do not go with it. No, by no means. It will not speak, the eye will follow it. Do not, my lord. Why, what should be the fear? I do not set my life in a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again, I'll follow it. Where wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further. Mark me, I will. My hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself. Alas, poor ghost, pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold. Speak, I am bound to hear, so art thou to revenge, when thou shalt hear. What? I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could the tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars start for their spheres, thy knotted and combined lock depart, and each particular hair to stand on end like quills upon the fretful porpentine. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, oh, list. If thou didst ever thy dear father love, O God, revenge his in most unnatural murder. Murder, murder most foul as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange and unnatural. Haste me to now that I, the wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love, may sweep to my revenge. I find thee apt, and duller shouldst thou be than the fat weed that roots itself in ease on Lethe wharf, wouldst thou not stir in this. Now, Hamlet, here 'tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me so the whole ear of Denmark is by forged process of my death rankly abused. But no, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown. Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle. My honored lord, my most dear lord, my excellent and good friends. How dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, crossing cranes. Good lads, how do ye both? As the indifferent children of the earth. Happy in that we are not over happy, on fortune's cap we are not the very button, nor the soles of her shoe. Neither, my lord. Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her favors? Faith, her privates we. In the secret parts of fortune? O most true, she is a strumpet. What's the news? None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest. Then is doomsday near, but your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved the hands of fortune, that she sends you to prison hither? Prison, my lord. Denmark's a prison. Then is the world one, a goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards and dungeons, Denmark being one o' the worst. It is not very strange, for mine uncle is king of Denmark, and those that would make mows at him while my father lived give 20, 40, 50, and 100 ducats a piece for his picture in little. S'blood, there is something in this more than natural, if philosophy could find it out. There are the players. Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands come, then the appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this garb, lest my extent to the players, which, I tell you, must show fairly outwards, should more appear like entertainment than yours. You are welcome, but my uncle, father, and mother are deceived. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing in them to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that the flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream all. There's the rub, for in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin, who would furrows bear, to grunt and sweat under a worry life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than flight to others that we know of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with disregard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph, and thy orisons be all my sins remembered. Oh, help him, you sweet heavens! If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery, go, farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too. Farewell. So long. Nay then, let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Oh heavens, died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. Then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year. But be Our Lady, he must build crouches, then or else shall he suffer not thinking on with the hobby horse, whose epitaph is the hobby horse is forgot. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood, and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft now to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature, let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural, I will speak daggers to her, but use none my tongue and soul in this. Be hypocrite how in my words soever she be shunned, to give them seals never, my soul, consent. Now, mother, what's the matter? Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended. Mother, you have my father much offended. Come, you answer with an idle tongue. Go, you question with the wicked tongue. Why, how now, Hamlet? What's the matter now? Have you forgot me? No, bother, rude, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so. You are my mother. Nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak. Come, and set you down, you shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you. What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help, ho, what? Ho, help. How now, a rat? Dead, for a ducat, dead. Oh, I am slain. O me, what hast thou done? Nay, I know not, is it the king? Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this! A bloody deed almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry his brother. As kill a king, aye, lady, 'twas my word. Thou wretched, rash intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better, take thy fortune. Thou find'st to be too busy is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands, peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not brassed it so that it is proof and bulwark against sense. Oh, speak to me no more these words like daggers, inner and mine ears, no more, sweet Hamlet. A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your president lord, a vice of kings, a cutpurse of the empire and the rule, that from a shelf the precious diadem stole, and put it in his pocket. Do not believe it. Believe what? That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of king? Take you me for a sponge, my lord? I, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape, in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed, to be last swallowed when he needs what you have gleaned. It is but squeezing you, and, sponge, you shall be dry again. Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius? At supper. At supper. Where? Not where he eat, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eating at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but 1 table, that's the end. Alas, alas, a man may with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that fed of that worm. What dost you mean by this? Nothing but to show you how king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar. Alas, poor Yorick! I knew him, Hordian, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is, my gorge rims at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment, that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning quite chapfallen? Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick, to this favor she must come, make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me, young thing, what's that, my lord? Dost thou think Alexander looked o' this fashion I the earth? Even so, and smelt so, paw. Even so, my lord. To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander, till he find it stopping a bunghole? Gertrude, do not drink. I will, my lord, I pray you pardon me. It is the poisoned cup, it is too late. I dare not drink yet, madam, by and by. Have it you now. Part them, they are incensed. Nay, come again. Look to the queen there. Ho! They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord? How's Leards? Why, as a woodcock to mine own springe, Osric, I am justly killed with mine own treachery. How does the queen? She swoons to see them bleed. No, no, the drink, oh my dear Hamlet, the drink. I am poison, oh villainy! Oh, let the door be locked, treachery! Seek it out, It is here, Hamlet, Hamlet. Thou art slain, no medicine in the world can do thee good, in thee there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, and baited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I'll lie never to rise again. Thy mother's poison I can no more. The king's to blame. The point envenomed too. Then, venom, to thy work. Treason, treason. Oh, yet defend me, friends, I am but hurt. Hear thou incestuous, murderous damned Dane, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother. He is justly served, it is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me. Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act, had I but time, as this fell sergeant, death is strict in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you, but let it be. Horatio, I am dead, thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied. Never believe it, I am more an anti-Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left. As thou'rt a man, give me the cup. Let go, by heaven, I'll have it. O good Horatio, what a wounded name! Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain, to tell my story. Oh, I die, Horatio, the potent poison quite over the crows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice, so tell him with the occurrence, more and less, which have solicited. The rest is silence. Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing to thee thy rest.